Hi, my name is Jonathan, and I would love to share some insights that I got from our session today in the Soul Awakened Leadership Circle. We've been on this journey for the last 10 weeks. It was our 11th session today, and one of the ways in which we're working is to acknowledge that we're living in this non-local field, this morphogenetic field that is all around us. And as we're doing the work locally in this small group, it also ripples out into the larger field. Some of you know maybe the story of the 100th monkey, where on an island, a group of monkeys learns to peel their bananas, and without having physical contact on a separate, isolated island, monkeys all of a sudden start peeling their bananas and eating them when a certain threshold on this one island is reached. And so the idea that we uncover, or maybe recover certain capacities as a group opens up the possibility that it also is then available for others to access these capabilities as well. And so this is why I'm so fascinated by this work and the idea of a mastermind. You hear of scientists having a big breakthrough on one side of the planet, and simultaneously, without having had any contact, other scientists on other parts of the world have a similar breakthrough. And these discoveries are happening synchronistically. So the way that we're working is to really open ourselves fully in service to the field for that. Of course, we're working on our personal themes, on our topics, on our dreams and our challenges that are coming up for us individually, but we're doing it also for the larger field. The way that I frame the mastermind is that we're not only investing ourselves with our time and money and energy into the space, but we're also investing in each other. The success of the other people around me in the mastermind is equally powerful because it unlocks possibilities for me as well. And so I have this enlightened self-interest to support others as well in their process, in their journey. And by being in this space where transformation occurs, I'm opening myself to a transformation within me that is so much amplified than whatever I could experience just working with myself. And so we've been exploring the theme of soul awakened leadership for the last 10, 11 weeks now. And it's been so profound and so powerful. For me, soul awakened leadership is the idea that there's a new capacity in leaders awakening these days. And leadership, by the way, is not defined by a role that you're formally holding. It's more about a willingness and openness in yourself to step up as a leader and not to be in control, but to take charge. See that there is a quality that is missing in the field, and I'm taking responsibility to bring this quality into the field. So that, for me, is the capacity of leaders, and many people are even informally in these leadership roles without maybe even not naming it in this way. For me, these are the pioneers who are in organizations and who are bringing in new qualities that they feel are so needed in these times because no one else is bringing them. So to identify this need for equality, to be willing to step up and to share that with the field, that for me is one of the most beautiful forms of leadership that is needed in the world today. And so many people who are already doing that, who are building these bridges between an old world that is dying and a new world that is being born, know how lonely it can be, especially if you are in an organization that is still operating with very different principles. And then to bring in new ideas, bring in new visions, it can sometimes feel like you're the only crazy one. And so to have people around you who get you, who understand what it feels like, is so empowering in so many ways. And that is one of the things that today, when we were reflecting on what was the impact of the last 10 weeks that our journey together had on your life, was shared unanimously by everyone in the group, that it is just so supportive to feel this depth of connection, to have people around you who get you, who understand what it is to be in the situation where you're in, and to not be alone, frankly, to really be in this together. One of the participants so beautifully called it a sane space. Not just a safe space, not a brave space, but a sane space. These islands of sanity are so precious, where we get to reconnect with our why, with our roots, with our knowing that we've not chosen the path of least resistance. We're not living an easy life, but we can do this because we know that we have a why that is bigger than us, our separate egos and our own need gratification. There is something that we aspire to, and that is also this way of leadership that doesn't look for creating followers. It creates more leaders. And so just equally as Jesus wasn't longing to create more followers, he was longing to activate the Christ consciousness in other human beings who would then also aspire to live according to the best qualities that we see in each others, and to be an example and this living permission slip, as Jamie Kettle calls it, for other people. That for me is the soul awakened leadership, to guide us into a paradigm beyond separation, to guide us beyond the rationalism, materialism that capitalism dictates us as the way to live, and the accepted normality and madness that surrounds us in so many ways. And so to be these midwives for this new world to be born, and to be the death doulas for this world that is dying, and guiding us into a world of interconnectedness, into a world of deep cooperation with all of life in service to life. That is really the essence of soul awakened leadership. And so I want to share a few insights on what came for people reflecting on the impact of the last few weeks that this time together has had for us. And one of the things that stood out for me was this sense of deeper connection with self, and the clarity that came through that of like, oh, now I really know why I'm here. I kind of knew it already. I've always known, but being here and speaking it in this protected group of just a few people gave me the courage and the strength to now step out and share it with a lot more people, where I don't necessarily need to trust that everyone will like me, but I can trust that I got myself regardless how people respond. I know how to, in a way, protect myself in spaces that are not necessarily as safe as the space that we created. And this reference experience of, there are people who are trustworthy, there are people who are doing the work on themselves, gives the courage then to step out and to expand beyond the safe cocoon that we've been creating for the last few weeks. Another thing that really touched me was this possibility to have this space to play with different qualities, to bring in our sweetness, our gentleness, but also to bring in our fire and our exuberance, our provocations and our edges, and to show ourselves fully with it. And through that, find this I call it the bliss point, based on this idea that is also in the food industry, where they find that bliss point between sweet and sour, where it exactly hits the right nerves that want you to eat more of that. And so to find our bliss point, and to find the point where we are in our center, where we're just fully bringing our magic, and to have a space where you can experiment with it, and where it can go over the top or where it can go a bit too low in order to find that. It's just so beautiful to see the transformation that people have gone through having this space for experimentation and for playing and for being all of who we can be. And then I was just so touched to see the depth of wisdom that we were bringing together. And I felt that we were amplifying and raising the frequency that each of us was bringing individually, and living up to that aspiration of what could be if we really show not just the best of us, but all of us, without judging the parts within us that feel inferior, that have imposter syndrome, that feel shame, bringing all of that in, but in a way that we're holding it and creating a container and a frame for that, where all of that can be alchemized and purified and transformed if ready and if willing to go there. And so I'm just deeply touched to see the transformation that we all have gone through. It's very much a journey that is leading us into the unknown, into the unexpected, into paradigms that are just so beyond any prepared path. For me, I had some ideas of where this mastermind would lead us in these 3 months that we are journeying together. And yet I was so surprised where it's leading us, where life is leading us in a way. It's been a marvelous journey where the mystery is our lover, and where we're embracing the unknown, the uncertainty of really stepping into something that cannot be grasped with words, and through that opening to such a magnificent potential that is always new, always fresh, always alive in the moment, and really taking us to what is true now, what is real now, what is alive now, instead of any concepts, ideas, or any frameworks that I could be teaching. And so to embark on this journey also brought me to my edges of thinking like, shouldn't we create more results? Shouldn't we be more output oriented? Shouldn't we be more productive and create more measurable income, results, followers, whatever? But to let go of all these ideas of, no, that's just not how life works. Yes, that is one aspect, and we can find ways to innovatively measure what is also expanding and unfolding, because what we do measure does expand and does grow potentially, and we can take charge for that and take responsibility for that. But it's a very simplistic way of looking at life, not the materialistic rational framework to just look at what can we quantify. So one of the deepest things that I feel is that I've met and created allies on this path. I've met some beautiful human beings that will be on this journey with me, and I know even if we're geographically in very distant places, there is something that brings us very close through this journey that we've been going on together. There's a lot more that I could share, and I can continue just raving about these beautiful beings that I've been journeying with. But I want to leave it at that to just give you a little glimpse on the journey that we've been on. And it's just the beginning. One of the things that I also realized in the context of these morphological fields is that wherever we are now, people who will join at this point, they will continue and start their journey exactly where we ended off. And so taking it then another layer, another step further. And we can continue this journey and expanding together into new realms that a certain foundation has been built. And based on this foundation, now the next 3 months will be entirely different and will take us into different spheres, into different experiences, and open up to completely new potentials. So whoever feels called to learn more about this journey, you will not just achieve what we have achieved until this point and have the impact on your life that the people who have been on this journey so far, you will actually use all the impact, all the results that we have created until this point, and add your juice, add your insights, add your impact on top of that. You can build on that foundation and take it a step further to amplify whatever you want to dream into in your life, but at the same time also uncover that for the entire non-local quantum field that we're immersed in. So if this speaks to you, if you're curious to learn more, feel free to connect directly. You can send me a message, or also go to the website and book a call with me, and we can explore what it is that you want to dream and what challenges are holding you back. And I'm very excited to see how this next iteration of the Soul Awakened Leadership Circle will unfold. I wish you a beautiful rest of your day and wishing you well wherever you are.